Look at this baby. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare your garden bed regeneratively in 3 simple steps. Hi, my name is Melissa Smith. I am the owner and founder of Smiling Soil Regenerative Gardens, and I am really excited today to dive into how you can start helping your soil thrive and therefore your garden thrive throughout the year. Also, that YouTube thing, make sure to like and also hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell if you want more inspiration for your garden and some tips along the way. All right, let's get started. First things first, as you're looking at your garden bed and considering how you're going to grow regeneratively, is that you want to make sure to remove the current vegetation by just simply snipping at the base of the vegetation, or if it's a wildflower or some sort of weed that can get a little bit out of hand, then you want to gently make sure you are shaking and pulling out those roots without disturbing your soil too much. You want to avoid tilling, you want to avoid digging up your soil as much as possible, because this will affect the microbes that live in your soil. So please make sure when you are removing the vegetation to do so in a way that has the least impact on your soil. Then step 2 is going to be feeding your soil. If there's anything you learn from Smiling Soil, it's the only way you're gonna have smiling soil is if you actually feed it. And what we feed it is compost. Compost is soil's happy place. So we wanna make sure that we are giving all those microbes in your soil something to eat. Now, a lot of people get this confused with fertilizer, but it's actually a little bit different. When you are putting compost on your soil, you are actually feeding all of the microbes that live in your soil, making sure they are happy and thriving so that they break down nutrients that your plant can then use. So when we are not feeding our soil compost, all of those microbes are not so happy, and we have plants that then don't get the nutrients they need. Feed your soil. I have my own compost setup that you can look at the video right here for how we created. It's super cheap and easy and able to be moved around, which is really helpful in our yard as we design and create different things in different spaces. So make sure to check that video out as well and see if making compost at your house works for you. Another thing that you can do is look in your community to see if there's anyone that is sharing compost or if there's a community compost center. And there's also the ability to get compost at stores. You're then also going to want to add a mulch to not only feed your soil, but also suppress weeds, retain moisture, and just make sure everything is set in its place. And for that, we typically use an organic rice straw. You can try to find a rice straw in your neighborhood at a animal farm supply. So you lay out that rice straw on top of that compost, a good thick layer to help make sure that everything is tucked in and all good to go. Now, we here at Smiling Soil Farmstead, we love to use soil blocks. And if you haven't heard of soil blocks, I've also made a video that you can click right up here to check out. But in this step, what I do is I take our soil blocks and I give them a good little soak so that they have pulled up all the moisture into their block once more before taking them out to their new garden bed. The seeds that I am planting in this section for this year is our wheat crop, and we have a hearty winter wheat that we love to eat now and add to our sourdough breads. That is easy to grow, and I spread it out throughout each year into different areas because it does like to pull a lot of nutrients, so then I add a lot of fava beans and other nitrogen fixers to that area afterwards. For this crop, I'm just spreading out this blocks first just to see where they're gonna go. And then I open up with a shovel or my hand a little hole to press down those soil blocks into the soil. And I'll finally add some water just to help everything settle in. Now I am probably gonna put a bird netting over this as well because the birds love to go for the baby wheat seedlings, so we'll make sure that they are protected as they start getting themselves settled into the ground. Another thing that's really important when you're regeneratively gardening is thinking about companion planting. There are plants that thrive together and there are some plants that do not do well next to each other. So in the coming weeks, we're gonna be talking a lot more about that here as we plan out our spring and summer beds. So if you wanna join the journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so that you can also partake in learning all that we're doing on our little farmstead. Feed your soil.